Okay guys, two more on this page. We have two areas of a triangle, one using this formula, one using the perimeter, and actually one using a formula that they give us. So let's start with this one. It says find the area of the triangle. These we have to memorize. So think of 1/2 base times height, but now instead of 1/2 base times height, it's 1/2 two of the sides times the sine of the angle between them. So notice we have this side and this side, so it's in the angle between, so it's just 1/2 8 times 6 times sine of 45 degrees. Plug it all in the calculator at one time and you're gonna get 16.97 square units. Just watch the number of decimals they want. Okay, here's a tough one. It says two forces of magnitude 40 newtons and 60 newtons act on an object at angles of 30 degrees and negative 45 degrees with the positive x-axis as shown in the figure. Find the direction and magnitude of the resultant force. A resultant force is just adding two forces. And the way we add forces is by breaking them down into their I and J components. Then we can add the I components and add the J components. And that will be our resultant force. So in this case, what we do is the I component of the first force is along the x-axis, so that's why we take the 40 times the cosine of 30 to get the I component of this first force, and 40 times the sine of 30 to get the J component of this force. So I get F1 is 40 times the square root of 3 over 2I plus 40 times 1/2 J. So F1 becomes this lovely, it looks more complex version of a force, but it's just broken down in x and y components. But that way we can add them and subtract them. So F2, though, notice it's acting in this direction. So think about it. If you have something pulling with 60 newtons in this direction and 40 newtons in this direction, your object is going to go probably in the middle somewhere, right? So that's all you're doing. You're trying to find out where it's really going. So your second force down here, we're going to break it down into I and J. It's 60 times the cosine of negative 45 degrees plus 60 times the sine of negative 45 degrees J. I rationalized the denominator, so instead of 1 over the square root of 2, I made it the square root of 2 over 2 because I knew it was going to simplify with the 60. And for force 2, we get 30 square root of 2I minus 30 square root of 2J. Then for our resultant force, all we do is add the I components and add the J components. So F1 was 20 square root of 3I. F2 is 30 square root of 2I. So we combine the I components. Same thing for the J components. We get the 20J from F1 and the 30 minus 30 square root of 2J from F2. So this is our combined resultant force. Just take it step by step and you will be just fine with it.